Hello everyone, welcome. And today I am going to present about my final year project, which will be development of web online system for outcome-based education. Uh, my supervisor is Mr. Shamim. All thanks to him for helping me out through this research. This is the content of the table, the introduction, the problem statement, the objective, the methodology, and finally the conclusion. So I'm going to develop an online system for OBE. So we need first to know what is OBE. OBE is basically educational theory that base each part of an educational system around a goal. So by the end of educational experience, each student should have achieved the goal. Um, the OBE is like a long time implemented in the world. It's like more than 4 decades already, created and implemented worldwide by many countries such as Australia, USA, and so on. In 2008, Malaysia started practicing OBE in all its public education systems, such as school, universities, and so on, to enhance the learning and teaching quality experience. The OBE implementation system, as we know, accessing information nowadays has increased widely with the rapid growth of technology, which has opened the door for this online system to be the essential tool for any educational university to use OBE more efficiently and effectively. The online system has played a massive role by minimizing the need for hard copies, human error, human efforts, redundant data, room spaces, and also, most importantly, the time. The system will indicate the meaningful relationship between the lecturer and the system. As one of the universities that involve a diversity environment, which has a vast number of participant information resources, MIU, Manipal International University, also tends to take advantage of the use of time efficient for our system, which we will be called MOBE system version 2. The exchange of information between the lecturer and student need an effective strategy to ensure that there is no misunderstanding or lack of information that might cause a delay in the achievement of tasks later on. So MOB system V2 will mainly be focusing on the OBE implementation model only, because the old OBE structure will remain the same. We are not going to change or modify or playing with any of the structure because it's fixed. We are going only to implement, and we change the earlier practice, which toward the Excel files that the lecturers and the university depends on. And the lecturers create and keep on their laptop like through the whole semesters and the whole time for other subject, other students. They keep the Excel files for like a grade sheet and assessment work and so on and so forth. So it's like eventually will be get replaced by the online system. So the previous OBE module implementation is common practice among different lecturers, where the lecturer are facing a bit of difficulty dealing with such a system where they need to enter the data, student data in multiple levels manually over and over again and create files for that purpose. So in order to facilitate those barriers, the progress, our system, the OBEV2, will automate things and centralize things, and will be having built-in formulas that will take the responsibility of calculations, like calculating coursework, mapping BLO and CLO. So the lecturer just need to just click and give the orders like this CLO to this PLO, and that's all. So as we come to our problem statement, it is the earlier practice is very time consuming and require more workforce, as we just mentioned. It's like manually data entry and so on. Also, it might lead to unnecessary duplicated and irrelevant data in multiple files. Also, vast amount of files slowing the workflow, and sometimes it will be frustrating to deal with, especially from the lecturer side. So here, as we see, a small comparison between the earlier practice and the online system, MOB system V2. So the earlier practice, which will be heavily focus, depends on the Excel files. It is fixed and not very effective. Data enter manually. The lecturer need to enter the data manually, and it has some scope of human error. And by practicing such a practice, a system, it has it leads to have many files saved on the lecturer laptops. So by implementing and developing such system, it is very flexible and practical. I am saying flexible and practical because when we need to update the Excel files, we need to we need to reshare them again, and we need to resend them again to all lecturers, because Excel files, when when we update an Excel file, it doesn't update in the lecturer version, so it's just update in the local file. Whereas in the system, when we update something, it will be unified for all the participants, and also it will be auto-generated. So the lecturer will be entering just very minimum data required, and also that will lead to minimizing the human error very noticeably and significantly. And also, by applying such a system, there will be no need for lecturers to save some or any files on their laptop, because everything will be on the online. So our objective for developing such system is to set up a secure platform and server environment, also decrease the scope of a human error, I just mentioned before, also develop an online system that is systematic and comfortable, and also having a very friendly user interface that the lecturer can use very in a simple way. Uh, Also to make a proper tool that facilitate the workflow for the lecturer, because our main focus for such developing a system is to facilitate and ease the work to the lecturer as much as possible. Here is the system architecture. It is just 3 tiers. So this picture describes as follows. So user enter the URL to access the website. The web browser, of course, through the web browser, the web browser will send a request to the web server to fetch an HTML page to execute, or sorry, or execute a PHP script. The PHP will send the request to the web server to fetch an HTML page or execute a PHP script. The PHP script will use SQL queries to access the system database tables and send a dynamically generated HTML page back to the client browser that the user will see. So one of the reasons that for developing the system is to provide a user-friendly web environment to manage all the student assessment, coursework, BLO, CLO, achievement, and many more. So the system shall be made of the client front end and back end components. Here also, as we see in the diagram, the user can access the system through the work area, the object panel, and also in the blue rectangle, the institution module, university vision and mission. All these, the user will not like looking at it, just like he will have some idea. It will be mapping through the system. It's based on the some defines rules so that we will follow, and the user just will mapping. So for example, the lecturer will fill up the course information. After filling up the CLO and the BLO, there will be a matrix. He will just choose and indicate and link them together. And then that will fill up the assessment details, such as the assessment type, full marks, weightage, and will be displaying some graphs to visualize the data reading. And also will be some conditions like if below the condition passing up, there will be some coding, also color coding, and that's pretty much it. As a conclusion, the system will introduce a comfortable environment for managing student assessment. Also, the success of the online system will simplify the protocol and increase the performance for all the lecturers. That's all for me. Thank you very much for watching.